All right, everybody, welcome to your real estate podcast. I believe this is episode number 12, and we're wrapping up the year. So we are going to discuss business plans, right, for predominantly real estate agents. But if you are a business person, an entrepreneur, or just somebody who wants to be productive, you can stick around because I'm pretty sure some things we share may be beneficial to you, okay? So without further ado, let's get started. This is the 2026 business plan, and it's a 7-point plan. One thing I noticed is business plans get very, very detailed, which is good. But sometimes the problem in that is it just gets overwhelming. It's hard to track. So the 7-point business plan can be written on a flashcard, printed on a sheet of paper, posted in places where you can see them, and kind of keep it fresh on your mind, on the top of your mind. But there are more details that are required in the 7-point business plan. But at least you can write the key 7 points, jot down notes underneath, space it out. 1.1, give it like 3 or 4 lines. Point 2, 3 or 4 lines. Point 3, so on and so forth. So you can jot down things on your flashcard or on your sheet of paper, that you're going to type it on or write it on. Have it somewhere where you can see it. But then you may need an actual book to just be more detailed, or for the tech savvy people who like to do things on the computer, a folder, with a Word document or something along those lines. But let's get to it. I know some people write little manuals and PowerPoints. The business plan should be accessible. You need a flashcard, a scorecard almost, that you can look at. Yes, there's an intricate detail that is required, but you also need to make a small, digestible form of this business card that you can access and just kind of refresh your memory. Okay, point 1, as a real estate agent, if you're trying to be successful in 2026, point number 1, you want to ask yourself, how many deals do you want to close? What gets measured gets accomplished. You need to have a goal. That's why we have championships in sports. That's why we have world records in different things, right? There's a goal that needs to be accomplished. That's why when you go to school, there's a degree at the end of it. Something that you're chasing and that you need to get to, you need to have a finish line. Just running without knowing where you're going, you can actually discover new places. That's how the world got discovered, right? Just people sailing and going to places and running into things. That's fine, but for business, you need a concrete destination that you're heading to. And I would say set your goal to where it's realistic, but also a little high. Challenge yourself this year. That way, if you fall short of your goal, it's still going to be better than the previous year. But these goals need, you know about SMART goals, the acronym SMART: specific, measurable, what is it? Attainable, reliable, and then timely. It's been a while I haven't looked at SMART, but pretty much an attainable goal, a timely goal. R is realistic, a realistic goal, and M is measurable but specific. So how many deals do you want to close? You say you want to close, let's say you want to close 30 deals, 100 deals, 10 deals, 5, whatever your number is. That's point number 1. I want you to grab a pen and write point number 1. How many deals do I want to close? Then you write your number there. Okay, cool. Now that you know what your goal is, You just need to reverse engineer that, right? So if you look at World War II, the American bomber either had to do an emergency landing in the Soviet Union, or America actually gave Russia one of those planes. I don't know how Russia ended up getting it, because you know the Soviet Union and America were allies during the war, right? Even though there are frictions there. All I'm saying is when the Soviet Union got their hand on that jet, in a short while, everywhere in the news, the Soviets were flying their bombers that look identical to the American, what's it called, the B-2, was it the Strato Fortress or something? So what they in essence did is they just took engineers, they took the plane apart completely, and then they started to reassemble it. That's what we're going to do here with your business plan. Step number one, I want to close 10 deals. I want to close 100 deals. You write that down. Now you need to reverse engineer it. How am I going to get there? What do I need to put first? And that goal is there to measure yourself, but the focus is not on the goal. The focus is on these different tasks that we're going to do to get to that goal. All right. Number two on your flashcard or your binder, your sheet of paper that I want you to jot down is, I want you to list your lead sources. What are my lead sources? There are so many ways of going about getting leads. You don't want to be an agent who is constantly chasing the next best thing. You hear this app is generating leads. You hear AI can give you leads. You hear Facebook can give you leads. You hear Google can give you leads. You hear Zillow, Redfin, Vulcan 7. You have so many, Homes.com, Sold.com, Realtor.com, Trulier, you know. Just so many websites can give you leads, so many ways of getting leads. Your sphere of influence, right? Door knocking, farming, so many. The list is very extensive. You can't go chasing all of those, because what you'll find out is you will be a mile long, but an inch deep. It's better to be 10 feet long, but a mile deep. You're grounded, you're rooted, you're very knowledgeable, you master something, right? So with all these different sources of leads, if you did business last year, you just look and see what was the most successful way in which I generated business. And then you may want to write that down. If you're a brand new agent, you can research different strategies and then pick, I would say pick one or two, max three, that you're going to focus on. You know, you got cold calling, you got running ads, your sphere of influence, whatever they are, write down your lead sources. And like I said, we're reverse engineering. If you say you want to get to 100 deals in your cold calling, you need to come up with how many calls you're going to make a day. How many people you're going to talk to a day that would get you X amount of listing appointments a week, and how many of those you got to do the averages. Like they say, about 70% of these appointments close. Some people are higher, some people are lower. And how many of these appointments now are going to turn into listings? And out of those listings, not 100% of them are going to sell. Some sellers are unrealistic. Some houses are not that great. So maybe another 70% of your listings actually sell. So now you got your number. So now it's all a matter of, like I said, like the B-2 bomber right there in World War II, reverse engineering. Okay, in order to get to 100, I need to make X amount of calls every day. That will give me X amount of leads every day or every week. And then those leads now will turn to X amount of appointments. You just go, let's say if 200 calls gets you 10 leads a week. 10 leads get you 5 listing appointments a week. Out of those 5 listing appointments, you convert 3 of them a week. Then you just go from there. 3 listing appointments and 3 listings, you sell 2 out of the 3. So now okay, I'll be selling maybe 2 houses every 2 weeks or so. Then you just go from there. Maybe I need to call longer. If your goal is to get 50 homes, then you just do the math. But I'm just trying to tell you how you get to that number. That's if you're calling. If you're running ads on Facebook or YouTube or Google, I wouldn't say rely on that strategy if it hasn't worked for you previously, right? Excuse me. The ads that you got various ones that work, but make sure you know what you're doing. Talk to somebody with experience that has done it before you just jump into it. So for instance, we can use like a Zillow lead, these paid leads. What's the conversion? Is it good now with the market leaning towards a buyer's market? Is it a good time for you to run those type of leads? Or Google AdWords, or Maps. There's so many different ways. Just pick one and then do some real good research and see if I spend X amount of dollars, how many transactions would that convert to? All right. So step 1, how many deals do I want? Step 2, what are my lead sources? If you're using your sphere of influence, do you have a big enough sphere to maintain your to sustain your business? Are you going to do webinars? Are you going to do networking events? Whatever it is, it's not okay, I'm going to do webinars, right? Cool. But how many listings or buyers are going to come out of those? There has to be a number attached to whatever activity you're doing. If you're calling, there needs to be a number of listings that are going to come from those calls, right? Are you going to work with probates, divorce lawyers, whatever it is, accountants, whatever it is? If I talk to 10 lawyers, I need 1 deal out of those conversations, right? There needs to be a number attached to it. And as we go down the line, you'll see why. Because I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but all I'm saying is list your lead sources, and each lead source attach a number of leads that will be generated based on a certain amount of activity, a certain type and amount of activity. So for instance, if I do 200 calls, I get X amount of leads. If I talk to 200 lawyers, I get X amount of leads, whatever it may be. If I spend $2,000 on Zillow, I should get X amount of leads. And then X out of these X amount of leads, they should convert into a certain amount of transactions. Set that goal. Whatever, I don't want to give you an idea on how to go about your business. Different agents got different ways of getting business. Some people, all they do is talk to divorce lawyers. Some people partner with banks and they get these REOs, these real estate owned foreclosures in their listings. So the list goes on and on and on as to how you get a deal. All I'm saying today, we shall dig deep into that some other day. But for your 2026 success plan and your business plan, step 1, know your target. Step 2, know where your source to fulfill that goal, to accomplish that goal is going to come from. It may be one source, it may be 3 good sources. It may be, I don't want to make it more than 3, because the more you get spread out, the less jack of all trade, master of none. You don't want to be that. The more you do, the less efficient or the less of an expert you may be, you know, because in mastery, they say it's 1,000 hours of something, doing something, you become a master. You know, back in the day, when you think about education, the education system we have now came with the Industrial Revolution. Prior to that, it was literally apprenticeship. That, you know, like, so when you hear the British surnames and you hear Smith, probably that family was a family of goldsmiths, you know, or blacksmiths. Or you hear Baker, you know, you hear Butcher, you hear these last names, Butler. So you come from a lineage and that's their trade. You understand? And that's how these last names came about. So in that time of learning, you partner with somebody, you pick up a trade, right? And there's a reason why I'm mentioning this. But now we have a formal educational system. But what I'm saying is, in order to be able to master something, when you had that trade, you had to practice it for X amount of hours. I think they said 1,000 hours makes you a master in that trade. That's how it was, right? So in order for you to be a master in your trade, you need to hone in on a certain way of getting after leads rather than being all over the place, unless you're in a team. But even in a team, think about it. Even in a team that sells 100 homes a year, that's why it's a team. Everybody has a role to play. All right, so find out what role you're going to play in order to generate these leads. Put a number to it. Now, step 3, list your weekly KPI. KPIs are key performance indicators. Write down weekly checklist, 1 to 10. So for instance, calls. I need to do 200 calls. Or showings. I need to do 3 showings or 10 showings. Or you can say open houses. I need to do 5 open houses a month or 10 or open house, whatever the number is. Weekly KPIs. And then you do columns, right? And you're checking it every week. Okay, this week I did this week I did that, whatever your KPIs are. If you're sending hand mail, how many hand mails do you need to send? You're sending postcards, how many do you need to send every week? If you are doing emails, how many emails do you need to send? If you're doing social media posts, how many videos or newsletters do you need to post? Weekly KPIs, you need that. That's step number 3. So you see how you're going now. This is my target. This is the source of the leads. These are the weekly activities that I'm going to do to fulfill the source of the leads. And if I do that, that would then translate into me meeting my step 1, which is my target sales. So step 3, list your weekly KPIs. This is where you build a system. So the problem with most agents, they go into the year and they set a goal. That is counterintuitive, believe it or not. I just told you to set a goal, but here, like I say, stick with me. Now you see where we are. We talked about the jet, right? The bomber that got reverse engineered. Now you see how they got to the jet. They had to put pieces together. So we're trying to get to this bomber, but we need to put things together, right? Reverse engineer actions, weekly KPIs. You write that separately. Step 3, this I would actually do on a different sheet of paper, but you would write, list my weekly KPIs. But when you list them, you don't do it on this flashcard. On this flashcard, you're just doing step 1, target sales. Step 2, list of lead sources. Step 3, list of weekly KPIs. You're just doing that, but in a separate sheet now, you're going to do list of weekly KPIs, write your KPIs down on that, and then you go there. But your flashcard, you can look at your flashcard and say, Did I do my weekly key performance indicator activities this week? Oh, did I send emails out? Did I do my social media post? Did I do an open house? Did I do a showing? Did I talk to a lawyer, a CPA, whatever it is? Did I talk to a family member? Did I text? Did I send emails? Whatever your weekly KPI is, you can just see it on the flashcard. That's why the flashcard or the sheet of paper by your desk, or just a reminder somewhere where you see it is good. But in a separate sheet of paper or in a separate binder now, you're writing weekly key performance indicators. Write a list of things you need to do every single week. Successful agents, successful people live and die by their calendar. You need to have a calendar, and the thing about us as agents, clients kind of control you when you are a new agent, an inexperienced agent. They control your time. We all got into real estate so we can free up some time, right? Let's be honest, you don't want that 9-to-5 grind, get up and work. You want to do things on your own time, but then you get into the real estate industry and you find out that's not the case. But here's the thing. If you live and die by a calendar, you work your clients around that. Sometimes you may need to break protocol to accommodate a client, especially if you know this is a hot lead. But for the most part, weekly key performance indicators. And here is a strategy for you. You can do it in two ways, or you can combine it. One, you can do it in weekly key performance indicators. I need to do 200 calls every day. Or you can do it in weekly key performance indicators. I need to call for 2 hours every day, whatever it is, or 4 hours every day, So you can measure it through time of activity, or you can measure it in number of the activity, the thing that you're doing. I need to send 300 emails out, or 300 postcards out, or I need to be sending emails for an X amount of hours, whatever it may be. But what you need to do, you need to have your weekly key performance indicators. For instance, 200 contacts a week, sending hand mails, emails, social media posts, showings, networking events, webinars, open houses, whatever it may be. Write them down. And I would say this list shouldn't go past 10 activities, because it's the 80-20 rule. 20% of your activities is really what's going to provide 80% of your results. So we find ourselves doing all these shenanigans that don't generate income. Another way to look at it are revenue generating activities or income generating activities. These are your key performance indicators. You don't want busy work. Leave a little time for admin or hire an admin, but if you're not there yet, leave some time for that. But honestly, your job shouldn't be waking up checking emails. These things do happen, yes. That should be later in your day. You wake up, you need to do chase your big rocks. The few activities that are going to generate you the most income, that's what should be on this KPI. It shouldn't be a long and extensive list of things, a million things to do every week. If you know cold calling is what's going to get you leads, write cold calling down. Obviously, leave some time for admin, but if you know open houses is what's going to get you leads, call listing agents in my brokerage. So you can, hey, I see you got a listing. Can I do an open house for whatever it may be? If you know doing webinars or doing videos on YouTube gets you leads, Schedule time to do your videos. If you know running ads gets you leads, then okay, schedule time for your showings or your appointments, whatever it may be. Schedule a dollar amount to run those ads. But key performance indicators, revenue generating activities, interchangeable. Now you're building a system rather than setting goals. So now, okay, on Monday, I'm going to call for X amount of hours. On Monday, I'm going to shoot a video. On Monday, whatever it may be, you're setting a system now. And you'll find out once you set a system, you just execute. And here's a nugget for your bonus. With these, let's go to the next step. List your daily KPIs. So for the week, I need to get these things done. Now we're building a system rather than setting goals. We started off with our goal, but as you see, we're now building a system. So once you have your system built, this is what makes you an entrepreneur, a business person. As an employee, you are used to going into somebody else's system. You clock in at this time, you have a meeting at this time, you do this. Somebody built that system, and some of you agents are used to that, functioning under somebody's system. But now as an agent, you need to build your own system, and you need to hold yourself accountable to follow your system. Step 1, how many deals am I going to close? Step 2, what are my lead sources? Step 3, what are my weekly key performance indicators? So, meaning I'll have a checklist for the week. Did I do this? Check, check, check. So now these are your revenue generating activities. What I'm trying to get agents to see here is stop being busy with things that don't matter. Narrow it down to things that actually produce income, right? Step 4, out of your weekly activities that need to get done on your KPI, now you're setting a daily KPI. So you're now setting your daily schedule. Okay, so on my weekly thing, I got 10 things listed on my weekly checklist. I need to meet with a certain amount of lenders and solicit business from them. Or I need to talk to lawyers, divorce lawyers that can recommend, or estate lawyers, probate lawyers, whatever it may be. I need to talk to banks, and see who's in charge of their foreclosure department. Whatever your lead source may be, I need to go on showings if I'm buying buyer leads, whatever it may be. Now you're writing it down on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. On Monday, between this time to this time, I need to do this. So it becomes easy. Here's the thing now. You got your weekly KPIs. You got your annual goals. You're not going to get there if your daily activities don't align. So when they took apart that plane and they put it together, when they took it apart, they had engineers write down, we took away this part of the wing first. So when they're reassembling it, it comes in last. There's a system. If you put things in an order that you didn't take it in this order, you're not going to be able to replicate that plane or replicate that success, right? So in order for you to get to your goals, you need to do things in order. Then you start to train your mind to know that it's not about the goal I set. It's about the daily activities. If I do this, if I make X amount of calls, if I'm on the phone for 2 hours a day, if I'm at an open house, if I'm at a webinar, whatever, if I knock on 400 doors or 20 doors, if I circle prospect, whatever it may be. If I do this on Monday, that on Tuesday, this on Wednesday, by the end of the week, my KPI checklist will be all set. And now, step number 4, is list daily KPIs, tasks / calendar. You live and die by your calendar. When you become a successful agent, then you'll know that planning your calendar is key. You leave some space to because things happen. An inspector may call you, an appraiser may call you, a lender may call you, whatever. A client may call you, family emergencies. Leave yourself a little bit of wiggle room. But whatever it may be, maybe today you may not even be able to work because other things came up. Just know the next day you go back to your calendar, right? And it even goes deeper in the ABCs of prioritizing: absolute, beneficial, consider, right? I absolutely need to make these calls in order to succeed. It would be beneficial if I record these videos. I would consider, sending out these newsletters or posting on social media. Absolutely, this is a must I got to do. I absolutely need a door knock. It would be beneficial if I send postcards, and I'll consider posting a video on social media. If you have a day that's free, you do A, then B, then C. But if you don't have a free day, then you absolutely do A. So that's just a by the way. But step 1, how many deals do you need to close? Step 2, list your lead sources. Step 3, list your weekly key performance indicators or your weekly revenue generating activities. But weekly KPIs, I like that more because it's like 200 calls, goals. End of the week, I only did 150. End of the week, I did 250. So you are doing the activities that would generate income. Step 4, now you break those weekly targets. How am I going to get to 200 calls? Every day I need to make, 20 or so? Or 40? If you're doing 5 days, 40, 80, 120. If you're doing a 4-day work week, if you're doing whatever it may be, you're doing 100, then you need 25 calls in a 5-day work week. Or 4-day work week, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 25, 50. Then you do it 4 days. Do the math is all I'm saying, right? So if you want 100 contacts and you want to work for 4 days, you need to do 25 calls a day. If you need to do 5 days, you do 20 calls. But these are just examples. Do the math. Weekly activities that I need to do in order to get me to daily activities that I need to do that would enable me to get to my weekly goal. Step number 5, schedule a monthly or quarterly follow-up or evaluation. We call these evaluation days. Put it on your calendar. Good businesses, trust me, have their annual goal. And they got their goal by the halfway through the year. What's my goal? Then they got their quarterly goals. 3 months in a year, what is my goal? Then they got their monthly goals. Every month, if I meet my goal every month, I'll meet my goal this quarter. If I meet my goal this quarter, then I'll meet my goal by the end of the half. But if I fail, then I need to double this. You need to measure it. Schedule a monthly, quarterly, or quarterly. You can do both. Sometimes small sample sizes don't really work, but you kind of at least evaluate it. I made X amount of calls. I met my numbers. I got no deals all month. Am I doing the right thing? It may not be time to pivot yet, let's say you are setting and building up your pipeline. You may have not, you may not have gotten a deal, but you may have gotten some leads, and you're talking to them. So now you see, okay, these leads are coming. But if you see, I sent a million emails out, no responses, nothing, then okay, start to consider whether or not you need to make adjustments. Here's the thing. This is your business. You're not a robot. These things are not etched in stone. It's not an unstoppable force meeting an immovable object. This is, you got to be malleable. You need to adapt to the market. So if you write a business strategy that is based on a seller's market, then you find out that it's no longer a seller's market. Are you able to pivot? Or if you were only showing whatever it may be, just be malleable, be able to adjust. And that's step number 5. Schedule a monthly / quarterly or you can do both, every month or every quarter. You know, the sooner you do it, you start getting indicators. I wouldn't say make a change every month. Sometimes you need to give yourself 3 months, 3 to 6 months to see if this activity is yielding any results. But you don't want to go 6 months in and you haven't gotten any deal and then you want to make a change now. That's why you evaluate it every month. You say, okay, I didn't get a deal, but I'm coming close. You can tell it's a pipeline and a funnel because it flows through your funnel and then it starts flowing through your pipeline. So if you feel as though you got some kind of flow, some kind of traction, good. But if you feel as though this is a dud, it's not working for me, maybe you need to start looking somewhere else, right? So now you need to write down in this your weekly in this your monthly / quarterly follow-up or evaluation. You want to track, am I on track? Am I on pace? Based on my activities, am I getting the clients? Am I getting the sales? You want to see, what are my obstacles? If not, is it because I didn't do the activity? So if I didn't get any sales because I didn't do the activity, then I wouldn't change my course of action. I wouldn't change my plan. Maybe I need to execute and see what happens. But if I did, if I went even above and beyond on activity, but I see no traction, then maybe I'm doing the wrong activity, right? So you get a result and then you adjust accordingly. Then you want to see what's working. So that's why I say have 3 types of lead sources for the year in step 2, at least. And then you see what's working. So if 1 is working and giving me 5 leads every month and 3 is giving me 0 leads, I may not do activity 3 anymore and I may do more of 1. So instead of getting 5 leads a month, I may be getting 7 to 10 leads a month. So that's why you evaluate at the end of each month or quarter, right? You want to see, what am I on track? If not, what are my obstacles? Or what's working? Then it's time to double down. That's where you become a master at something. When you see, okay, I'm good at this, focus on it. You let go of what's not working and focus on what's working. You may, on your free time, take classes, watch videos, partner with somebody who may have a strength here, but try to focus on what works. All right. Step 6 is make adjustments accordingly. So we just kind of went through it, where you make the necessary adjustments. That's step 6. And step number 7, you want to stay consistent, which is you rinse and repeat. Stay consistent. Sometimes consistency beats talent. I give this example all the time, all right? If you ask people that love football who the greatest wide receiver is, 9 out of 10 people will tell you Jerry Rice. If you look at who the most talented receiver is, they'll either say Randy Moss or Megatron, right? Those are the two most talented, naturally gifted wide receivers. But 9 out of 10 people will tell you Jerry Rice was better than both of them. He wasn't faster than both of them. He wasn't as tall as they were, but he was the most consistent. His records are so far and beyond. It's almost like, can anybody play for that long to even get to his numbers, right? So there's something to say about consistency. That's a talent, you know, doing the boring tasks every day, going when you don't feel like going. That's a talent, you know, staying consistent, rinse and repeat. And also you give yourself some grace, you know, because you are your own boss. Sometimes it's good to be very driven, but you don't want to run yourself into the ground. So give yourself some grace. If you know you tried, it didn't work out. You know, another thing is schedule. In this grace period, you want to schedule breaks, you know, to where you can refresh your mind. So an example I was going to give with your daily tasks, and this can kind of go with your monthly task, the Pomodoro technique, right? If you're going to call, you call for 20 minutes, 25 minutes, you take a 5-minute break. Same with the workload. You work, then you give yourself, treat yourself. But don't treat yourself before the results, right? Do the work and then treat yourself. It kind of motivates yourself. Like, okay, if I do this, I'm going to get this treat. Nothing major. Maybe I'm going to eat out somewhere. Maybe I'm going to take a little trip somewhere. You know, just something small. Maybe I'll buy myself a watch. Maybe I'll buy myself a new suit, a bag. Just something, whatever it may be, that would kind of let you know the hard work is paying off in a small way. Don't go too crazy, but treat yourself, give yourself some grace, right? So, as I said, for the 2026 business plan, we're trying to simplify it. Just 7 points on a sheet of paper or a flashcard, right? Step 1, how many deals do I want to close? Step 2, what are my lead sources? Step 3, list my KPIs, my key performance indicators, or my revenue generating activities, the RGAs. Step 4, list my daily tasks or calendar. Step 5, schedule monthly/quarterly follow-ups. We call these evaluation days. Put it on your calendar. Today, I'm going to evaluate my business, right? How did I do? That's why you're tracking these things, and you take a time out of the month to evaluate how did I do. And then step 6, make necessary adjustments. Step 7, stay consistent, rinse and repeat, or give yourself some grace, right? Give yourself some grace, treat yourself. Well, I hope you have a successful 2026, but here's the thing, right? This can apply for other years as well. Some things I wanted to point out here is you may need, these are just the bullet points that you need to look at and see, okay, am I doing this? Am I doing this? That's why it beats walking around with a thick book of a business plan. Because with all your contracts that you're going to write, all your showings, all your meetings, how often are you going to be going through those pages of your business plan? There's nothing wrong with those pages, but you need a bullet point just to see. Then you now need the book. And one page of your book is going to be weekly KPIs. Another page is going to be daily activities. And it's like a column. Check, 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 check. Am I doing this every day? Yes. Did I do this every week? Yes. Then another page is going to be feedback from monthly or quarterly evaluation. Monthly evaluation. How did I do? How am I doing? Then that's where the book of the business plan comes in, and the details and the activities. That's where it all comes in. But people just write those books of business plans and they don't open those pages every day. You may sit with it right before the year, but as challenges come up, as life happens, that business plan goes in the trash. Then 6 months goes down, 6 months goes by and you're nowhere where you need to be. That book and those agents that have these detailed game plans, that's fine. But have a bullet point, a flashcard that you can hold in your hand, put in your wallet, a copy of it in your wallet. So when you open your wallet, you see it, or have it by your door, so when you're leaving, have it on top of your desk. You can even write those 7 bullet points in a sticky note and have it on your laptop. Multiple areas so you can always come back. And what that does is a light bulb flashes. I need to go open my business plan, the book of your detailed plan, and then review it. That's why you need these 7 points written down on a flashcard, sticky note, have it by the refrigerator, or even a calendar reminder on your phone. 7 business plan, and you do it, repeat every week or every day, whatever it may be. Don't do it every day because it kind of gets old. Maybe every week or every month, bi-weekly, your calendar pops up with your 7 key points for your business plan. When that pops up in June, you will be checking your business plan. When that pops up in February, you'll be checking your business plan. The problem is some agents go into the year without a business plan. Some actually write the business plan, and then when the year starts rolling, it falls by the wayside. Some write a detailed business plan and they're able to check on it and follow up, right? But here we are just trying to get you to be like the top performers that actually check their business plan and be malleable. You like clay. You can be, as Bruce Lee said, be water, flow. Flow with the market. Evaluate what's going on. See what changes need to be made. Where do I need to double down? What's working? In sports, you meet a team, they say they're good at the run. Football, right? They're good at passing. Their pass game is strong. They're good at defense, And then the greatest coach, as they say, Bill Belichick, what was he good at? Taking away the opponent's strength. So you are your own opponent. Yes, there's competition out there, but you are your own opponent. So that's why you want to write down in step 5, what are my obstacles? Being that you're fighting against your weaker self that wants to procrastinate, that's not good at this, you want to take away that strength of you, the bad side of you. I hope you understand. This is very key. You are going up against yourself. There's this mental part of you that wants to do the right thing. Then there's this other side of you that wants to hang out, wants to procrastinate. You're taking away their strength. That's what Bill Belichick was good at. If he's playing the Vikings and they're good at passing, he's going to take away their pass game, making sure their best player doesn't beat them. So, okay, I know watching TV or scrolling down social media is one of my big weaknesses. I'm not going to let that defeat me. I'll delete social media from my cell phone. Or I saw this one guy, he said he used to take his phone and throw it on the roof of his house, just so when he's doing his work, he's locked in. Some people, you don't have to go to those extremes, but you need to know what's the biggest thing that distracts you. Is it a woman? Is it a man? Is it a whatever it may be? Make sure you find a way to defeat that thing right there. Sometimes you go to the office and then people just want to carry on with conversations. There's nothing wrong with being a little cordial and say, I got to get back to work. You're not being rude. Nice talking to you. I got to get back to work. If you have your own office, a good way to do that, when somebody starts talking, you get up and you start walking towards them or towards the door. You're trying to usher them out. Sometimes if you need to be rude, not rude, but direct, assertive, hey, let me get back to work. I'll get back to you on that. You know, there's nothing wrong with you holding your own standards. This is your business. You need to hold yourself accountable there. Well, I wish you all a good 26, and leave a comment down below as to how many deals you like to close this year, or if you found this helpful, right? Thank you.
Your ultimate hub for real estate insights, breaking news, entrepreneurial wisdom, investing strategies, and self-development hacks. If you're ready to expand your mind and stay ahead of the game floor, you're in the right place. Subscribe now. Your future self will thank you.